The business sector has been relatively happy with the management of the economy by the Ortega administration and critical of the opposition for its disunity and its failure to produce an economic plan for the nation. Regular tripartite government, labor, and business negotiations over minimum wage issues have brought stability to labor relations and regular increases in the minimum wages for Nicaraguan workers. In Nicaragua, their minimum wages are different for different sectors of the economy. There are more labor unions in the free trade zones now than there have ever been under previous administrations. The government has given communal land titles to indigenous groups, rather large extensions of land to Nicaragua's indigenous, and recently announced that 336,000 individual property titles have been given out to urban and rural dwellers who own parcels, who have parcels of land without the title. There's serious programs for building homes, affordable housing, and for housing repair. One very popular program has been Project Roof, in which mostly rural families get 10 sheets of galvanized roofing, you know, that's what they call the cat on the hot tin roof kind of roofing, to improve their houses and protect them from the weather. One analyst said that this program has made a difference that you can see flying in the air over rural Nicaragua, the new sheets of roofing and all that houses. According to the Labor Ministry, the number of employers registered with Social Security has increased by 57% from 2007 to 2010. And the number of people paying into Social Security has increased by 47%. These are people employed in the formal sector, in companies that pay into Social Security or in government jobs. Employment in the informal sector is also up as well as a result of programs such as Zero Usury, which provides low interest loans for small businesses and farming. And these are people sorting coffee. This is what coffee looks like when it just comes off the plant. And the seeds inside has to have that cherry taken off the outside. The Ortega administration has been lucky to have had a chance to govern in a period when Nicaragua's main crops and products are receiving good prices on the world market. This is in contrast to the first years of the revolution in the 1980s, when prices for Nicaragua's products collapsed. In 1980, the leaders of the revolution made their economic plans based on pretty good prices, and in the next year and two, everything went down and things made a big difference. And this has been a stroke of luck for this new FSLN government. Daniel Ortega's administration has also known how to turn this good fortune into benefits for large sectors of the Nicaraguan population. Critics, including former Sandinistas, as we know, accuse Ortega of supplying only populist responses to Nicaragua's poverty. We feel that that's an unfair accusation. Dismissing the women who received the zero hunger cow, pig, chickens, and seeds, and who's now food self-sufficient, as simply populism is unjust. It's the view of the Nicaraguan network that for all of its fault, the Ortega administration has shown an option for the poor, and we applaud it for that. The Nicaraguan network just took a delegation to Nicaragua in June to investigate U.S. government involvement in the November 6th elections. Here are a couple of our meetings. The United States has intervened in some way in every Nicaraguan election for almost a century. In 1928, the United States promised the presidency to Jose Maria Moncada long before the election was held. So, but getting back to the president, everyone we met with on this trip agreed that United States involvement in these current elections was less than it had been in 2006, when the United States openly supported a candidate and also funded it, supplied money for that candidate. We did find, however, that US funds, particularly from the United States Agency for International Development, USAID, were going to numerous non-governmental organizations that, while not political parties, were carrying out programs opposed to Daniel Ortega in a fashion that mimics the activities of a political party. These activities would be illegal if they were carried out here, foreign funding. Our report can be read on our webpage, which isn't up there, but I put it on some of the slides, www.nicanet.org, and I have a total of 2 copies with me. So if somebody rushes up afterwards and asks for it, I've got 2 copies. Meanwhile, a new September Sid Gallup poll shows Ortega with the support of 45.8 of those polled. Radio broadcaster Fabio Gadea of the Independent Liberal Party Alliance, that includes the Sandinista Renovation Movement, with 33.5, and former President Arnoldo Alemán of the Constitutional Liberal Party with 10.1%. It appears likely that Ortega will win on a first round, allowed under Nicaragua law if a candidate wins at least 35% of the vote and 5 points ahead of the next candidate, which if the election came out this way, he would. If Ortega does win the election, it will be based in part on divisions within the opposition. But more than that, it will be based on the real economic advances made by the Nicaraguan people during his term. And that's what I have to say. I'll put these maps up.